Alright, greetings and salutations everybody. How's it going today? My name is Yusuf. Thank you for clicking on this video today. Hopefully today's video there will be something in the video rather that you could really take something away from and apply it to your day-to-day life. So without any further ado, the subject of discussion today is the importance of self-forgiveness. Okay? So oftentimes whenever we're thinking of forgiveness, or just speaking in a really general sense, most people think of forgiveness as a second or third person act. Something that we should do whenever somebody transgresses against somebody else. Like we should forgive somebody because they did this, right? Very rarely is it used in the first person sense where we should be forgiving ourselves, right? Whenever we make a mistake or whenever somebody else makes a mistake, that person, them or us, we know more than anybody that we made the mistake, right? And oftentimes what happens is there's this voice inside of our heads, right? It's there in every single person that creeps up and that just begins to just continuously nag you and bicker at you because of the fact that you made this one mistake, right? I started to really realize that this voice had a very, very, very big part in my head when I started to try and develop good habits in my life, right? The habits that I was trying to build were like reading consistently. I went from not reading at all to just trying to read consistently, which just doesn't work out. Falling asleep really early, so like fall asleep like being in bed by like 9 and waking up at like 5. Eating very healthy, working out consistently, trying to swear less, surrounding myself with good company, drinking more water, just stuff like that. And I was like, okay, you know what, let's just try and apply all this in one day. So then I didn't do anything one day, then the next day I was like, boom, we're gonna try all this. And then what I immediately noticed was that that was not gonna work. Like I failed miserably at it, right? And when I failed miserably, lo and behold, guess who was talking in my head again? It was the same voice that would talk in my head whenever I would try and do something new, try and do something innovative, something creative, just outside the box. And this voice was just bickering and bickering and bickering and bickering. So I was like, okay, like shut up. Like, so here's what I was gonna do, right? So I was just gonna go, instead of trying to accomplish the whole list of habits and try and build them consistently, I was just gonna take one habit and I was just gonna work on that one, and I was just gonna follow that habit through, and then once I got that one down, I was gonna go to the next one. So I chose the habit of, let's say, trying to wake up early, right? At like 5 a.m. So when I was trying to build this habit, right, every time that I would mess up, what I would do is that I would forgive myself, right? And then what I soon began to realize was that forgiving myself made me accept what I did and then continue to move forward. That's the really important part that a lot of people forget, right? Forgiving yourself is not, you know, feeling bad for yourself and then just doing nothing. Forgiving yourself correctly is when you accept what you did wrong, and then you are the one who takes action and initiative and then continues to move forward, right? So I'll give you an example. So when I did not wake up on Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever day in the week it was at 5 a.m., then I would say, okay, Yusuf, you did not wake up at 5 a.m. today. It's all right. Let's just continue to move forward. That is healthily, or forgiving yourself in a good, positive way. Not allowing yourself to just cry and, well, obviously crying is a good thing sometimes, but not allowing yourself to just like be so deep in your emotions that you don't act, so that you are immobilized by your own emotions. So this voice in my head eventually began to catch on to the fact that I was forgiving myself and I was beginning to make strides. So eventually, right, this habit of just only forgiving myself did not work, right? It was working less and less and less. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to do something new. Every time I fault on a habit, or every time I go off track, what I will do is that I will analyze why I did what I did, right? So let's just stick with that same waking up at 5 a.m. habit. So if I did not wake up at 5 a.m., the next day I would ask myself, okay, why did you not wake up at 5 a.m.? Was it because you fell asleep really late? Was it because you did not eat good food throughout the day? Was it because right before you went to bed, you had a lot of sugar and it made you very active and then you didn't get any sleep? Was it because you were stressed out about that car payment you made 2 weeks ago? Whatever it was, I would analyze the mistake, and then what I would do from there is that I would use those conclusions that I formed from analyzing the mistake, and I would do my very best to try and avoid them, right? those 2 tips have been able to help me tremendously in building good habits and breaking down bad habits, right? When you begin to analyze the mistakes that you're doing, it takes attention away from that bickering voice in your head, and it puts the attention on the most important thing, fixing the problem. Fixing the problem is important, not admitting the fact that you have a problem and just not doing anything about it. You have to accept the problem, accept the mistake that you did, and then take the initiative to fix it. So through the importance of self-forgiveness, I've learned many things, and I've learned 2 main things that I kind of want to take away, right? And they both play hand in hand. The first thing is that once you begin to forgive yourself, you really begin to cultivate this like self-loving relationship. Self-love is something that is totally going to be saved for another video, and it's a topic that not a lot of people want to bring up, and it's a thing that a lot of people run away from. The reason why self-love is so important, just to name a few reasons, is because it makes you a more internally confident person, a more externally confident person. You're satisfied with yourself. You don't consistently see flaws in yourself. You see the things that are good about you. And the second reason, which ties into that self-love, is that rather than seeing yourself as a failure when you make a mistake or when you default on building good habits or going into your bad habits, you see yourself rather as a work in progress rather than a failure. And that is just a very eye-opening thing, right? Rather than seeing yourself as a wilted flower, you see yourself as a flower that is trying to bloom through the concrete, right? Despite all odds, you're still trying your best to continuously keep going and keep trying to become a better person. So that was a handful to say, but it's okay. But anyways, yeah. So I hope you guys are able to try and grasp and apply this concept to yourself, right? Whenever you make a mistake, whenever you do something wrong, don't be so harsh on yourself, right? Say to yourself, okay, I know what I did was wrong. How can I move forward from this? And then the next time you do it, analyze. Say, okay, I did this because A, B, C, D, and then next time avoid A, B, C, D, right? Or you do your best to avoid A and B. If C happens, then move forward. All right, so anyways, thank you guys very much for clicking on this video today. This is a little bit longer of a video, but yeah, that's all I got today. So I'm gonna be signing off for now. Peace.